Hey folks, Magician's Apprentice here. Today we're going to be going over a few quick tips on the shapeshifter color change. It's a really good color change to add to your repertoire, and if you're in the process of learning it, we've got a few quick tips and hints that might make things a little easier, so stay tuned. Okay, so a quick overview on how the shapeshifter color change works. You have one card turned over, and the next card in the pile you have a pinky break underneath it. You pick both cards up, placing your middle finger and thumb on the corners opposite the pips. The hand that's holding the deck, using again your middle finger and thumb, you grasp the corners that do have with the pips, putting a slight bow in the cards, pulling with your middle finger and then releasing the thumb, flipping the card over, making it look like a color change. So a few quick tips when learning the shapeshifter color change. With the hand that's holding the cards, I like to actually straighten out my middle finger a little bit. That way when I flick the card spinning over actually contacts my finger and stops dead flat, just the exact position where it started, so it looks pretty natural. Because if you don't and your finger's bent and the card carries through like this, it doesn't look all that good, so there's nothing there to stop it. But if I straighten my finger out a little bit, as the card comes around, it actually contacts my finger and stops, dead flat, just like it started. So extending your ring finger is a good way of doing it. This will change depending on how long your fingers are. I don't have exceptionally long fingers, so some of these are a little bit harder for me to do than others, but this is one little trick that I found that I can get the card in the same position almost every time. Okay, so another little quick tip is when you're pulling down on the card, as you pull your middle finger in and you release your thumb, drop the hand a little bit. If you don't drop this hand down a little bit, sometimes what can happen is the card will come around and can contact the deck and stop it in mid-spin. So when you're pulling on the ends and you release, drop this hand a little bit to make sure that the deck and your fingers of the other hand clear out of the way, so that it doesn't hit the cards and stop it from spinning. One of the problems people seem to have with the shapeshifter is the timing of the release of the thumb and when you're pulling down. I find it's just easy to think about pulling down and pulling your finger towards the deck and then releasing the thumb. That works for me. You can find something that works for you. Another thing you want to watch for is the amount of pressure that you put on the corners where there are no pips. You don't want to put too much pressure on it, or else it's not going to rotate properly, and you also don't want too light a pressure because you don't want them to fly out of your hands like that. So it's one of those things where it takes a bit of a feel to be able to get the right amount of tension to be able to flick those cards over. Well folks, that's it for today's video on the shapeshifter color change. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please remember to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more videos. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.